There's a silence that lives inside him now. Not the kind that empties, the kind that echoes with your name. You were the quiet wish he never dared to voice, the one whispered only in the language of longing. And yet, heaven heard. Heaven moved. Heaven delivered you. The angels say, she is the answer to a question he never knew he was asking. He didn't recognize it at first. How could he? Love like this doesn't arrive with certainty, but with trembling, like the hush before a sacred song. You stepped into his life not as a stranger, but as a reminder of something his soul had known long before this body. And now he finds himself haunted, not by ghosts, but by grace. You didn't have to shine to catch his attention. Your presence alone, the way you listen, the way you still believe in softness, carved a path within him. He tries to rationalize it, to resist it, but no logic holds when the divine decides. The angels whisper, you were sent to stir the parts of him that no woman ever reached. The buried boy, the forgotten dream, the man who still believes. You were placed on his path not to complete him, but to awaken him. Your arrival is not an accident. It's the unfolding of a sacred pact written long before breath. For it is written, before I formed you in the womb I knew you, and before you were born I set you apart. Jeremiah 1 verse 5. He never learned how to stay. Not with someone who sees right through the walls. There's a storm inside him, not of anger but of memory. Old hurts wrapped in silence. Fears dressed as logic. And every time he gets too close to your light, something in him flinches. The angels say, it's not that he doesn't feel. It's that he feels too much, and has no map for what to do with it. You remind him of every goodbye he never healed from. Every time love left without explanation. The mother who was too busy, the partner who never truly saw him, the voice inside that still whispers, you're too much. So he pushes you away, not to protect himself from you, but to protect you from the chaos he believes he still is. There's no villain here. Just shadows. Wounds that haven't been named. You are the mirror. And mirrors can be terrifying to those who've never dared to look. Still, something is breaking inside him. Slowly. Not in pain, in possibility. Your presence doesn't pressure him, it invites him. And that is how healing begins. The angels urge, be patient. His heart is a house under renovation. You are not meant to fix it. Only to sit gently inside, long enough for him to believe he is worthy of staying. You do not have to lose yourself to be loved. This is not a story where you abandon your needs to carry someone else's healing. The angels are clear, love is not a weight you are meant to drag, it's a wind you are meant to rise with. Yes, he's hurting. Yes, he's learning. But so are you. And your journey doesn't pause just because his is slower. Remember how brightly you used to shine before the questions? Before the waiting? Before you began measuring your worth by his confusion? Your light is not conditional. It does not require approval. It does not need permission to glow. The angels say, return to yourself. Water your own roots. Tend to the fire that drew him in the first place. He was drawn to you because you were whole. Not because you were perfect, but because you were present. With yourself. And if you start dimming to make him feel safe, he'll stop recognizing the very thing that awakened him. Your softness is sacred. Your boundaries are sacred too. This is your invitation to remember, you are not just part of someone else's transformation. You are your own miracle in motion. So take the walk alone if you need to. Light your candle once more. Those who are meant to stay, they will find you by your glow. There's something about you that terrifies him, and it's not your intensity. It's your honesty. The way you look at him and see everything. Not just the surface. Not just the charm. But the ache behind his smile, the tremble beneath his strength. The angels say, she is not here to flatter your ego, she is here to awaken your soul. And that awakening isn't always gentle. Because when someone has spent years hiding their shadows, they forget what sunlight feels like. They fear exposure. They mistake love for danger. Your presence holds up a mirror he never asked for, but now can't look away from. In your laughter, he sees what he's missed. In your stillness, he sees where he's scattered. And in your love, he sees the version of himself he never believed he could become. It's overwhelming. It's sacred. The angels whisper, she reflects not who he is, but who he could be if he dared to surrender. And still, he resists. Not because he doesn't want this love, but because he's afraid he'll fail in the face of it. But your soul didn't come here to perform. It came to be. Fully. Fiercely. Free. And that's why it's so powerful. You are not a mirror for his comfort. You are a mirror for his becoming. Something is changing. Not loudly, but undeniably. He's beginning to feel it, in the stillness. In the way your absence resonates louder than your presence ever did. In the way your name lingers when nothing else makes sense. The angels say, she touched something ancient in him. And now, the awakening has begun. It didn't happen through words. Not through explanations or arguments. It happened in the way you chose to walk with grace, even when misunderstood. In the way you stayed soft in a world that told you to harden. There's a moment every soul reaches, where denial begins to crack. Where the truth grows too big to ignore. He's there. Right now. He replays the moments. The laughter. The look in your eyes when you saw straight through him, and didn't flinch. He's realizing that what he thought was ordinary, was sacred. And it haunts him. In the best way. Because for the first time in a long time, he's not trying to escape his feelings. He's leaning in. He's questioning the life he built without you in it. The angels show me his heart like soil, dry, but ready. Ready for something real to take root. And you, beloved, were the first seed. Let this be the sign you needed. He's awakening. Not because you pushed him, but because your love made it safe for him to open his eyes. He leaves, and then returns. Not because he's playing games, but because he's afraid. This rhythm you've come to know is not chaos. It's fear dressed in hesitation. It's his soul wrestling with the weight of what he feels. The angels say, he runs because the pull is real. And real is terrifying to a heart that's been betrayed. You see, it's not about you. Not your worth. Not your beauty. Not even your effort. It's about how you make him feel, exposed, seen, undone. And he's never learned how to hold something that honest. So he goes. Trying to forget. Trying to numb. Trying to convince himself that it's better to stay in the safety of the familiar than to dive into something that might transform him. But love, true love, has a way of circling back. He feels your absence like a breath withheld. And when the silence stretches long enough, the longing breaks through the fear. That's when he reaches out again. Not because he has it all figured out, but because your energy feels like home, a place he keeps finding himself in. The angels whisper, every return is a confession, even if he never says a word. This isn't linear. Healing rarely is. But don't mistake the cycle for indifference. He is learning you by losing you, again and again, until the day he chooses to stay. He doesn't understand it yet, how your love is healing him. It's not loud. Not dramatic. It doesn't demand. It just is. Like a soft balm over wounds he never dared show, even to himself. The angels say, she didn't try to fix him. She just loved what was real. And that love did what time and logic could not. You weren't a solution. You were a sanctuary. While others tried to change him, you simply saw him. Held space for his silence. Sat beside his shadows. And in that space, something sacred began. Not an overnight miracle, but a slow, invisible shift. A loosening of the armor. A tenderness rising where fear once lived. He may not say it. He may not know how. But his soul does. That every time you listened, You rewrote the script that told him men must be strong, distant, unreachable. That every time you stayed, you softened the voice that said love leaves when it sees the truth. And now, even when apart, your energy lingers like a memory his body doesn't want to forget. The angels whisper, she is not his cure. She is the reminder that healing is possible. So let this be your knowing, you were never too much. You were never not enough. You were medicine. And he's still learning how to receive it. This was never random. None of it. The way your paths crossed. The timing that made no sense. The intensity that arrived like a wave before either of you was ready. The angels say, what feels delayed is only being divinely aligned. He may seem still, lost, silent, but beneath that surface, heaven is moving mountains. The dreams you've had, the visions, the signs, they weren't illusions. They were promises. Markers along a sacred map that only now begins to unfold. There's a reason your souls collided before the timing made sense. Love often arrives before the mind is ready, because the heart doesn't wait for logic. He's being guided, even in his confusion, especially in it. The missteps, the detours, the long silences. Every piece is part of a choreography orchestrated from above. The angels whisper, heaven has not forgotten what it started. And neither should you. Do not rush this. Do not demand clarity where trust is being born. For it is written, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight. Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6. Let your faith be your rhythm now. Let surrender be your strength. He is coming. And he won't be early or late, only right on divine time. He wants to love you. But love for him still feels like a risk. There is a boy inside that man, one who was never taught that softness was safe. One who learned that opening up meant danger. That showing emotion meant losing control. The angels say, he was not raised to believe that tenderness could be holy. So now when you come close, when you offer genuine connection, his instincts scream, protect. Even if you're the one place he longs to rest. You didn't break him. But your presence is breaking the pattern. And that feels both terrifying and divine. Because you don't demand vulnerability, you invite it. With your eyes. With your truth. With the way you never tried to be less, just so he'd feel more. And in the quietest corners of his heart, he knows, you are safe. But safety feels unfamiliar. And unfamiliar can feel threatening when you've only ever known survival. Still, he's changing. Not in declarations. But in hesitations that last a little less. In glances that linger a little longer. In the way his voice softens when he says your name. The angels whisper, his armor is not made of steel, it's made of memory. And you, beloved, are melting it. This is sacred. This is slow. But this is real. And when he's ready, he'll meet you not as the man he was, but as the soul he was always meant to become. Some things aren't meant to be chased. Just witnessed. Just received. Just allowed. This love, it was never about possession. It was about permission. Permission to be seen. To be vulnerable. To be undone and still chosen. The angels say, she did not wait for him. She walked with faith that what is hers could never be lost. You have loved with your eyes open, heart full, hands unclenched. And now, it's time to rest in what is. Not because you're giving up, but because your soul has learned that surrender isn't silence, it's sacred agreement. You have done your part. You have held the light. You have loved without asking love to perform. The rest belongs to God. The angels remind you, divine timing never needs to rush. And if he returns, whole, willing, awake, you'll know. Because you won't have to question. Because your spirit will feel peace, not ache. Until then, let peace be your prayer. Let trust be your home. And know this, soul of light, What is for you is not just protected, it's promised. For it is written, "The Lord will fight for you, you need only to be still." Exodus 14 verse 14. Rest now. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are aligned. And all that is meant will meet you there.